out in the middle of the night.
Work ethic.
Okay.
Talk about that with me. Should we focus that in our community? Should we really have that drive?
Absolutely.
Do you think it would make a change?
110%. I think that would make a change. But you know what I also think would make a huge impact is our dean. 110%. Nothing cannot change unless we work on our dean. You know, because if we, like, personally, I grew up in an environment where there was not so much dean. I found out the dean by myself, you know, at the age of 12. I was starting to ask questions. That's wrong. We should have people, we should have mentors, we should have, you know, sheikhs coming up to us and telling us, hey, you know, this, what you guys are doing is not so good and you guys need to step up. You guys need to come to the masjid and have some type of programs, basketball programs, you know, youth programs, stuff like that. Like what we're doing right now, Somali Canadian Youth Matter. We're trying to get out there and talk to people. We had a couple sheikhs, matter of fact, coming to our event where they're trying to talk to them about the deen as well. We had all sorts of people. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have someone working as hard, number one, dean, saying, hey, come to the masjid. We need to get something started. I really think you guys can make a huge impact right off the bat.
Also, to add to that, I think for kids, even when they're younger, I think you need to celebrate their little victories. You know what I mean? Be rewarded for just the little things, because it's positive reinforcement. So you know, even any little thing, oh, bravo. You know, like it goes a long way. You know what I mean?
It does. And especially if we have role models. Because when I was a kid, I barely had role models. I didn't have anybody to look up to. My father wasn't around. So if you have those type of environments, it's very easy for you to slip up, and especially this type of environment. So if you have like all sorts of people that just come to you and say, hey, you know, I'm going to give you some help. Let's do it. Let's conquer it. Let's work on your homework. Let's work on this. Let's work on your deen. Teach you how to pray. 5 daily prayers. What are you supposed to be saying in those prayers? The little things, you know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, if we're doing good in those little things too, it's nice to hear once in a while, hey, you're doing a good job. You know what I mean?
To go off of what Ilyas was just saying, I feel like Somali kids in this society, it's so hard to get them to the mosque. So we can't just say, come to the mosque. They're not going to do it. It's not cool, right? So I feel like some of the sheikhs and like the mentors from the mosques need to take that initiative and go back into the community. Don't expect the kids to come into the community center. You guys go to the them. Yeah, step out of the mosque. You know, because it's so easy for us to have these wheelie chairs sit in a mosque and say, hey, we're going to have Quran class, you know? But if you have an empty class, it's useless. You know what I'm saying? You need to get out of the mosques and walk into the community, have whatever you would have in the mosque into the community, you know? Rent out a space in Dixon and then have the kids come downstairs.
And I think really the onus is on us professionals to start to give back in any little way. So for example, I'm in IT. So what I could do is, I mean, there's a mentorship program in Ottawa that what we do is we, you know, meet with high school students and they have a program, there's a curriculum that they go through, and in the end they get their credits. But ultimately, we go there and tell them, hey, look guys, you want to start preparing for your life. You want to have a career. How do you go about doing that? And then I would go down, and then the kids who are more interested in IT, I have a lot that I can share with them, right? But then at the same time, not every class is going to have people who want IT. So we'd have a good class of, let's say, a bunch of boys and girls, and they're interested in, let's say, accounting, or someone else is interested in science. And then what we do, we have like a not a fair, but invite someone down from that particular field. So you know what? They have someone they can meet up with, talk to, and ask questions. So really the onus is on us older folks to go back and do anything in any little way.
For me to be that person as someone else.
Exactly.
I like the way you think. So, okay.
I just wanted to add one thing. Okay, so the masjids are doing an incredible job. Yes, there is separation. Yes, we have a lot of mosques that are going on. But the imams could just do so much. They're doing incredible. I've gone inside. I've seen them. Our team, actually, we have girls from different masjids that are a part of our campaign. We have girls that are university graduates or Hafiz Quran that are giving back. So now, first question is going back to what Ilyas said. Yes, deen is very, very important. But that starts in your household. As a parent, is your unique praying salah.
Got it.
What steps are you taking? Don't blame the imam and don't expect the imam to do everything for you. In your household, when your kid comes, when you're waking up for Fajr, is his dad waking up to pray? Are you praying? Is he praying? So that's the first step. And the second step is, like, this is a call out to all professionals that are out there. If you are a social worker, have you gone to the local masjid and say, hey, how can I help out?
Wow.
If you are a therapist and you're doing counseling or you have a mental health background, have you gone to the mosque and say, hey, I want to come, this is my profession, I want to give back, how can I support you guys?
Going back to that unit.
Yes.
I get it
We
now.
don't have that. And even, like, I don't care that there's 3-4 masjids. On Tuesdays, I'm going to go to Khalid. On Wednesdays, I'm going to go up in Scarborough. I'm going to go up to this. How do we start that?
Right.
So the problems, everybody's made it out. Nobody's coming up for the innocent people. You know, and that's like, it really hurts me.
Yeah.
So
I'm guilty of it, though.
Yeah.
I really am guilty
So
of it. And I
everybody
see the
should be-
connection
should be
because
coming
once
back.
I'm out, because I'm out now, right? In terms of when we say out, I'm making it in the world. I'm at that age where you can't really influence me, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't look back. I exactly what I said. I'm a taxpayer. I go to work. I come back. I'm just leave me be. I'm not part of the problem.
Yeah.
But I am part of the problem.
Yeah.
That
Right?
individuality is good for people that are in the turmoil. Right?
Yeah.
For you, I guess it's different, but for people that are in that story and stuck in that cycle,
Yeah.
they need the individuality.
Got it.
Like the way I'm
Yeah.
doing this myself. I'm paying my bills. I'm doing that.
To come out
That's
that
what
way.
they need.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I like we talked about your campaign, right? You have really you have some high standards, and inshallah I could see you guys really reaching them. How are you going to make it? Let's wrap this up. How are you going to do it? What's the future about your campaign? How are we going to do this?
So it's unity. So one thing, like Ahmed was saying, we want, instead of saying this, I'm from this block and that negative side, just to be like, oh, this is my community. I'm going to start up something in my building where I'm going to connect with all the young people. I'm going to start a homework club. I want to do something. Come connect with us.
Right.
We are here to just connect everybody together. Something that I want our community to focus on is who makes change? How the politicians, elected officials. Do you know who your local school trustee is? Do you know the name of him?
I don't.
You don't.
No.
Do you know your city councilor?
I don't.
Do you know your MPP? Do you know who your MP is?
Yeah.
Right? So these are people that we are voting for. When election day comes up, people are coming out, are you really engaged?
Yeah.
So we can't go to these guys right now because we are not mobilized as a community. Our
Understood.
first step, get ourselves together, get all our professionals to come down together. Reach out to all the youth that we can get. This is everybody's campaign. It has no face, right? And for the mums, we're working with the mums. There's a lot of mums that are a part of our programs. There's dads that are part of our programs. So we want
So
all
you
the
are
cities to
engaging
be
the
connected.
parents.
Oh yeah, there's
Right,
parents
we had
that
a
are part of
caller
this.
a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
a mother that called into the show, and that was her concern. Where are the parents? I don't want to see young people's faces only running this campaign. I want to see a mom. I want to see a dad. I also want to see the parents of the victims.
Yeah.
How did it affect them?
Yeah.
Right. So are you touching base
so
on that?
Right now we actually have this on our team, Mason Film, who's actually doing a documentary on this. Kamal and Billa with us from Ottawa. This is like it's actually gone on an international level. We're having people calling us from Dubai that used to, the kids that were here that made it out, that went to med schools, that have their careers set up, are now saying, hey, I'm coming back in the summer. How can I be involved in this?
Mashallah.
What can I do my part from Dubai? Because people that have I connected with a young lady who's lost almost 2 of her brothers to gun violence, but alhamdulillah they made it through.
Mashallah.
You have people in Somalia that have seen us because we were on my 252, which had great ratings in it. Yes, the youth were not there, but we're using social media to get to these youth.
Yeah.
That's something different that the other people have not done before. We are focusing on that 80%.
What do you say? And I'll finish up and let me know if you guys want to touch base on anything else. What do you say to the people that want to join your movement? How can they join?
Follow us on our social media accounts. We love to collaborate. We love to work with everybody. This is something that we're doing by ourselves. We would love to get help in any way that everybody can be a part of this.
Okay.
So connect with us.
Let's where can they hit you guys up?
I love these. So we started taking pictures with these hashtags that we have, and then these prints just to show anybody that's holding this is with us. And that's actually what kicked off our campaign. They didn't know who was leading it. Everybody was saying enough is enough.
Right.
If I hold this hashtag, I stand with the Somali community. It's time for change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You definitely have woken me up, right? And I've noticed that I am part of the problem, and I'm ready to get involved. I really am. Whatever I can do, if I can take my loud mouth and talk to youth and change them in the sense of changing the path that they're going on to, I'm more than happy to do that, right? So guys, hit them up. Somali Canadian Youth Matter. Is there anything else you want to bring to the table before we wrap this up?
You know what? Get on board. Basically, get on board. We want this kicking off in every single city. And just to state, This isn't an organization. It's just a campaign. It's just a bunch of different people who are from every single organization who left their brands at the door and said, you know what, I want to be part of the solution, right? So if you're in Edmonton, if you're in Calgary, if you're in Vancouver, if you're in Winnipeg, which is an interesting city. I mean, if you're in anywhere, just, get together with some people in your city and find out what can I do, how can I take part, and then what little change can I bring? Because, ultimately that's what we want to do. Aside from raising awareness, we want to bring some kind of a solution to the table, right? Whether it's mentorship or just you name it.
Right. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Hit up Somali Canadian Youth Matters, and like they said, from this conversation, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So join the movement, and thank you so much for joining in on our show. Sheeko Sheeko once again. Queen Book. I have my co-host again, Bueller. Yeah, I was hoping you would say it, but forget it.
Yes.
All right, guys, introduce yourself. Just introduce one more time. Go ahead, sir. Your name?
My name is Ilyas Noor.
Thank you very much.
I'm Madiri right here.
Kalsinali.
Zainab.
And that's Mali.
Thank you very much, and that's a wrap.
Thank
Peace.
you.